Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Christy Lynn. Today's video is going to be my little baby Evelyn's 1 and 2 month update. I didn't get her first month filmed. I wasn't sure if I was going to do these updates. Still not sure. Let me know if you enjoy it and want me to keep doing them. But I thought it'd be kind of nice to look back on. And I'll also talk about how things are going postpartum too. If you're new to my channel, I'm a new mom to my baby girl. Her name is Evelyn Rose. If you're interested in anything to do with motherhood, I think you'll enjoy this channel. I also have videos that covered pregnancy throughout the entire 9 months with little Evelyn. So go check out that playlist. I've got it linked below if you're interested. And I am going to start this video off and then I will get her as soon as she wakes up from her nap so that you can see her. Hope you'll consider subscribing, and let's go ahead and just get straight to the video. So Evelyn's first month of life. She was born on January 5th at 19 inches and 6 pounds and just under 6 ounces. So she was in the 31st percentile for her length and then 24th percentile for her weight at birth. She was like floating in most newborn clothes. She was just drowning in them. The only brand that really fit her was Carter's. I remember the newborn clothes I brought to the hospital was Gerber, and yeah, that was hilarious. It was more like a dress on her, the little sleepers. And she actually did surpass her birth weight at, because you know they lose a little weight at first, but then she surpassed it at her 1 week appointment, and we went to that appointment when she was 10 days old, and she was over her birth weight at that appointment. So we knew she was getting enough to eat. I was nursing exclusively with the occasional bottle. We didn't introduce the bottle until I think it was about 2 weeks in. No, I could be remembering less. I think it was less than that. I think it was like a week or 2 in. She was a very fussy baby at the beginning. It was difficult. She definitely showed signs of colic. Colic is like, they don't really know what it is. It's just like a name they give when babies are really fussy for hours and hours a day and they don't know for sure what's causing it. Some people think it's gas pains or like stomach problems. She did kind of seem to have some of that, but yeah, she would cry a lot, and there would be nights where we would just have to carry her and pace around and bounce her. She loved to be bounced like away from your body, just like this. You couldn't hold her against you. She'd start crying, but you had to do this so your hand would get really tired. Yeah, that was a long phase. But she actually, despite her sad time, she was really good and learned night from day, because they say that can be a challenge for newborns. They usually have it reversed where they are like awake at night and asleep during the day. She actually learned night from day pretty early on, I think. I think it was within a couple of weeks to maybe 3 weeks, and she definitely was like, you could tell she knew it was nighttime when you put her back to bed. You know, she wasn't trying to stay awake. After about 3 weeks of a lot of fussiness, Doug, my husband, actually read online that babies who are held more and carried more cry less. So we decided to really try, you know, holding her and carrying her more, wearing her in like our wrap. And so that did seem to help a bit. So I had tried to kind of schedule out her naps and stuff, and it just wasn't working to be on anything rigid, and just decided that trying to do this whole schedule thing was just not the best for her. The thing that really significantly helped with her fussiness was I put her on a baby probiotic. She was almost a month old at this point. She was about 26, 27 days old. That helped almost immediately. Within a few days, her fussiness really started to decrease, and she started just becoming a much happier baby. Around that time, she was also starting to coo and make little babbling sounds, and like she smiled at me. She actually had a little smile since birth, but that was like, I remember peering over the bassinet at her after her nap, and she actually smiled at me. So that was kind of the first time I really felt like she smiled at me. She just started to just become a much happier baby. We also introduced the pacifier. I did not want to introduce that for like at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I think. But we did introduce that right before 2 weeks, because at the time the doctor we were going to just kind of recommended that we might try that just to help her soothe, because she was just really having a hard time with all just the fussing and crying. And so it took a bit for her to take the pacifier. She really couldn't hold it in her mouth. It took us a few tries of brands, and we did end up finding one that worked perfectly for her, which is the MAM brand. Like the other one she couldn't hold in her mouth, but the MAM brand she could do. So she could hold it in pretty much right away. I mean, she drops it still, but hold it in a lot better. Pacifier really helped I know it's probably gonna be a habit I have to break, but she's also, because we didn't introduce it right away, I think, she's not like totally addicted to it. So she will fall asleep without it. Like she'll suck on it for a while and then she'll just like spit it out and then she'll go to sleep. So she doesn't wake up crying for it. Now when she's trying to fall asleep and it falls out, she will cry and want you to come back and put it in. So there's that. But yeah, you love it and you hate it. So yeah, like I said, towards that 1 month mark, she started cooing, she started smiling a bit more. And then I transitioned her into 0 to 3 month clothes because she actually was outgrowing newborns. It was crazy. It was like she barely fit in newborns. I mean, they were huge on her. And then suddenly, it felt like a week later, they were too small on her. So she was wearing 0 to 3 month right before she turned 1 month old. And then at that time, at 27 days, she went into 0 to 3 month sizes. And then she, at that time, weighed 8 pounds. So she had gained like a pound and a half or so in a month. She was still in newborn diapers for a little while. And then we did transition her to size 1. And she is still in size 1 now. But probably pretty soon when we run out of this package, I'm going to try out the next size just to see. So we introduced her play gym. It's the Love Every play gym, and she kicked the little rattle the first day that she played with it. Yeah, she actually used her little feet and kicked the rattle the very first time. So she's such a little smarty, at least that's what we think. I'm sure everybody thinks that about their baby, but I really do feel that she's super smart, and she has been kicking that proudly ever since, and she literally lights up with the pride in her eyes. Like, she's just such a happy baby when she's under that play gym. So let me just go ahead and go over our postpartum stuff really quick. So for the first month, it was challenging just because of how much she was crying. And you know, a mother doesn't want to hear her baby crying. It's really, really heart-wrenching and even heartbreaking when you can't figure out why your baby's crying. So it was just really hard for me to take the answer of sometimes babies just cry. Like, I really felt there was a reason, and I wanted to know the reason, and I wanted to fix it right then and there. I just wanted to help her. I wanted her to feel welcome and loved and comforted in where she was, and it just was heart-wrenching when sometimes when she was just going through such a hard phase of crying and just, you know, not sleeping, and it was just really hard. I think hearing your baby cry so much definitely can take a toll on your mental health, and it definitely did for me. Like, there were plenty of times where I was crying along with her because I just felt so bad. Right at the beginning after her birth though, I remember just, obviously you have that huge hormone shift, and I remember just the day we brought her home, and even in the hospital 2 days we were there, just looking at her sleeping so perfectly, and I just cried because I just thought, it was so sad to think that my little baby was going to grow each day. Each moment she was growing already, and I just wanted her to stay that small forever. So I thought, I don't know how I'm going to get past this feeling, but thankfully I did, and now I'm really super happy to see her growing. I just love every new stage that she's going through, and just she becomes happier and more content each stage she's in, it seems. It's really fulfilling just to see that, and I feel a lot better. 2 months postpartum, I am doing pretty good. I have days that are rough and I have days that are great, and usually they're connected to the days or the nights that I don't get sleep are the rough ones, and or days where she is actually more fussy and I can't seem to figure out what's going on. Those are rare now, but when they do happen, it's saddening. But overall, I'm doing, I think, a lot better than I was, but at the same time, I think I just need to still give myself time to really fully recover, even though I feel recovered physically, emotionally, and mentally. That's a whole nother story, I think, just because of the shift that has taken place. But overall, having a happy baby makes me a happy mama, so that's generally how it's going. And now that she is getting bigger every day, she is playing more, she is even doing some independent play, so I'm able to set her down a little bit more. Whereas before in the newborn, I say newborn stage because she's not really like a newborn anymore. Even though she's only 2 months, she just is so active and alert. So she started off like that even in the first month. It was crazy. I feel like she was only a newborn for like 1 or 2 weeks. But yeah, so I'm able to do more, I think, get a little more done, just a little bit. I can carry her in the boba wrap and she does pretty good. So I can, you know, get a little bit of cooking done, a little bit of cleaning done. But it's not obviously like it was before. So that is probably the biggest challenge, is just trying to get everything done in nap time. Here little Evelyn is. She just woke up from a nap, or actually several hours later, a couple naps later. But here she is, chipper and ready to go. So as you can see, she is pretty alert. She can also hold her neck up really well. You know, we still support it as we pick her up and that sort of thing, but she can hold it up really well, and we can just sort of sit her on her lap like this. She started going to bed without fussing at night. Naps are still sometimes a challenge, but today she took 2 really great naps, didn't you? Did you take good naps? You took such good naps. Yes, you did. So maybe we're turning a curve. I don't know. Things always change with babies though. So right when I think, you know, we're settling into a routine, something changes, but that's okay. Yeah, she's just super active. I mean, she's the only baby I've known, but I feel like she was only like a newborn for like a week or 2, and now I feel like she's just so active, and she always wants to be go, 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 and she loves just playing, and she just wants to be carried around so she can look at everything in the house. And she fights sleep a lot. You have to be careful because she can get really overstimulated really easily. She did start this thing where she like grunts in the mornings, like sometimes around 4 to like 6 she'll grunt for like an hour or 2, and I think it's she's trying to like poo or pass gas or something, and she's just trying to figure out how to do it. And so she'll make these grunting noises. And so yeah, sometimes I'll pull her out of bed and we'll do bicycle legs, where you just gently move your legs like bicycle. And she loves that. You can be like, bicycle legs, and she'll just grin ear to ear. And yeah, that's the other thing. She has really started smiling. She just like smiles at us constantly. She has like a little giggle, a little laugh, and she's just a really happy baby now, which is such a relief, since the first weeks of her life were really rough, right? You were just trying to adjust. Yeah, so I'm just really thankful and glad that we've moved past that. Let me show you the product that I used to really help with her colic. I think she was having stomach problems because this really seemed to solve it. This is the product, right baby? Gerber's Soothe Comforting Probiotic Drops. So I give her that every single morning, and it really seems to help her. What else is new with you, baby? Oh, she slept her first 5-hour stretch. First and maybe last. No, the last couple of nights she's been doing really well. She's been sleeping the Halo bassinet in our bedroom, and she will roll. Oh, bless you. Bless you. She is so active that she can just roll until she gets to, well, not really roll, but like squirm, till she gets to the edge, and then her head will get stuck down between the mattress and the side, the mesh side, and then she'll start crying, of course. So it's been making me really nervous. From day 1 she slept on her side. Now she sleeps on her back, but she just like snakes around across the bed and just gets right up to the mesh. We think she's trying to get close to us, because I tried flipping the bed around the opposite side and she still went to the side closest to us. So she just wants to be like right near us on the bed. So she'll just like peer through the mesh and smile and giggle at us. And like sometimes I'll try to take a nap with her first nap in the morning if I put her to bed in there, and she'll just like watch me as I close my eyes, so that she'll close her eyes. She's just so cute. Oh, it's just so funny how she'll like, I'll put her down for a nap sometimes, and I'll hear her from the other room just like giggling and talking to herself. It's so cute. During the night, if she wakes up for feedings, it's just all business. We get her fed, diaper change, and she's just right back down. No fussing, nothing, just straight back to sleep. So I'm so proud of her. She's discovered her hands, and she's started spinning this guy. But even before that, she was hitting the little ball that hangs in the Love Every Play gym. And just in the last few days, she started spinning this little rattle thingy. Can you show us what you can do with it? You almost did it. Come on. Yay! Great job! And you can see she's starting to grow her hair back. She didn't really lose her hair necessarily. Well, she did in the back because she rubbed it out. So you can see she's got a little bald spot in the back. She's just super active. She's moving her head back and forth in bed and everything. Her head grew too fast to keep up with her hair because she was born with a full head of hair. And now it is all growing back. It's all growing in, I should say. And I don't know if you could see that, but it's definitely growing. She likes being held and carried, which is new because she was really independent. Didn't want to really be held, didn't want to be in the carrier anymore or in the wrap. So now she's like constantly wanting to be held. She wanted to be walked around the house. She wants to come with me everywhere. She wants to look at everything I'm doing. But you know what? This time's only gonna happen once, so I'm just enjoying the little baby snuggles that I can get. Oh, and she's really obsessed with her tongue. She's been trying to stick her fist in her mouth the last couple of days. Just this fist, right? You just stick that in your mouth all the time. Oh, and she's now like a few days past just turning 2 months old, and I can't believe it, but I had to transition her to 3 to 6 month clothes. She's just filled out the length of her 0 to 3 month clothes. She's too long for them now. She had her 2 month appointment and she weighs 10.4 pounds and she is 23 inches long and she is in the 70th percentile per height. So both her daddy and I are pretty tall. I am 5'9" and my husband is 6'1", so yeah, maybe she's gonna be a tall girl. And for her weight, she was only like 21 percentile for her weight versus height. Now she just jumped up to the 27th percentile for her weight. She's still in size 1 diapers, although when we run out of this package, I think I'm gonna try her in size 2. But this outfit right here, this is 3 to 6 months. So when I look back at little videos and the snippets we've taken in the last 2 months, I just can't believe how much she's changed. I don't want her to grow. I just want her to stay like this. But I love how cheerful she's getting. But I think that wraps up the 1 and 2 month update for little Evelyn Bros. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have any video suggestions or videos you'd like to see with her, let me know. Alright, so here's little baby Evelyn up close. She's blowing bubbles because she's obsessed with her tongue. Yes? Ugly? What else? Tell me more. Ugly? 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 You got some fuzz on your face. Ugly? Ugly?